What the feeling of freedom is the absence of resistance. And the way to get to that feeling of freedom and that absence of resistance is by giving up control of behavior and action. So now focus on the idea of control, the idea of what work feels like, the controlling of time and the controlling of your own behavior, or being controlled by others, or having to live within the guidelines that someone else is establishing, all of those things that make you feel not free. So focus upon, instead of the specifics of the work that you're glad to leave behind, and focus upon the essence of why it feels good to leave that behind. And just for a minute, focus with us on the idea of the big difference between retirement and working is the absence of control. Because that is the reason that you're feeling so much more free. Now, again, we want to emphasize with you, we are not in this discussion trying to get you to go back to work. But we want to explain to you that in the determination not to go back to work, which is the amplification of I want to be free, and in working I cannot be free, you are keeping a vibration active within you that will not let the money flow. So whether you go back to work or whether you don't go back to work, feeling like that will not let it flow. You have a better opportunity, much better probability of allowing many more dollars flow into your experience now that you are retired and feeling free than you ever did while you were working, because while you are working, you feel like you're in bondage, and in the absence of the feeling of freedom, you've got the thing that works blocked. We so want to emphasize, we know that you think that this much work and this much per hour or this much per year equals this much money, and we say it is so minuscule by comparison with the power of attraction that you have relative to money. So most who are working for money and have that mindset that I have to do this much and I can only do this much, I can't stretch myself any further, and this kind of work that I am trained to do only nets me this much return, so there's no possible way that I can do the things that I want to do. And so you said so much just now. You said to us, it's what we heard, there's all of this wonderful stuff in my vibrational escrow, returning to the Bay Area, building my dream home in Danville, living the life that I want to live. It's all over here alive and well, and you said and meant, and I can't do that because it won't come to me if I don't work, and I don't want to work, and even if I was working, I couldn't do all of that. So the only reason it's not coming is because of the vibrational contradiction within you. Hasn't got anything to do with whether you work or don't work. It's all about the story you're telling. It's all about the story you're telling and the way you feel when you tell the story. It's easy to understand why people think that the money that flows to them is equivalent to the action that they're able to offer. We know that. But if you will look around at people, and there are a lot of examples for you to see, and look at the money that some are earning and try to make sense of that kind of earning with the same 24 hours a day that everyone has. In other words, you can't get an education that justifies the money that some people earn. There aren't enough hours in the day or enough effort that can be offered to justify the money that some people earn. And what about those that are working harder than anyone that you've ever seen, that get up at the crack of dawn, work all day, hardly take a break at all, hardly do anything for themselves, slump into bed, only sleep for a few hours and go back to work again, some of them working 2 and 3 and 4 jobs and still barely eking out enough money to live on? How do you explain that? And we say it's because they are not leveraging through the power of the universe. They are trying to do it with action, which yields nothing in comparison with lining up with what's in your vibrational escrow. Through all the years that you've worked and all the years that you've lived, you have amassed vibrationally a veritable fortune. We are not kidding you one bit about that. And what has to be happening, not just with you, but with almost everyone, we don't think that you quite understand or believe that this vibrational escrow amounts to anything. Because if you believed it as we see it, if you knew it as we know it, you would do everything in your power to find vibrational alignment with it, and you would live the happy ever after life that you are wanting. So you just must not believe that it's over there, or all of you would be working more diligently. 100% of your effort, Esther's too, would be about lining up with what's in this vibrational escrow. If you believed it as it is. So we're going to do a little sales job with you here, just a little bit. We can only bring you so far along in this. But Everything that exists that you see in terms of manifestation was at one time in a vibrational escrow like that. This is not some airy-fairy, invisible, sparkle dust sort of thing. This is not some story that we're telling you. This is the basis of creation. It is the prepaving of everything that you want. It is valid. It is real. You've put it there. It's being tended. Law of attraction is amassed. Not only your fortune, but the means to the fortune, the joyous journey to the fortune has already been lined up for you. The question is, where are you in relationship to it? And you just showed us you're doing what almost everybody's doing. You're telling a story that prohibits you from being aware. You can't, just like Esther couldn't find her pen, you can't find, because you don't have vibrational access to the path that will lead you to the manifestation of that, because this story activates a vibration within you that makes you blind to all of this stuff that's swirling and coming about. And it's the people who tell the story about this that get the ideas, that are in the right place at the right time, that feel the impulse, that offer the investment, that meet the person, that, in other words, there are endless ways that this fortune can come to you. Your world is awash in money. There is more money flowing more abundantly today than ever before. And people complain, well, the rich are just getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. And we say the economy is expanding. There is more to go around all of the time, because every time an idea is born, the equivalent economic factors that are necessary come into place too. It's not that long ago you were trading birds and furs and feathers and beads and stones. That was the basis of your economy. And now look at the basis of your economy. Now your economy is predominantly based upon ideas. Now your economy is about the vibrational basis that you are about, you see. And there is plenty there for all of you, and anything that you earn will not detract one bit from what anybody else earns. You just got to line up with what's in there, you see.